I thought I was dying.
It's a disease that affects thousands of women in New York every year.
I didn't believe it.
And impacts the lives of countless others.
When I found out she had cancer, I was really, shocked.
Tonight, a PIX11 news special.
It was really horrific.
It's about awareness, attention, and action.
When we talk about lowering risk, we're really talking about lifestyle and diet.
And hope.
I needed to survive because of my daughter.
Welcome to PIX11 Cares in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm Tamsin Vidal. We're here outside of the Kings County Courthouse live with a whole lot of people and a whole lot of supporters trying to help women get exactly what they need. Women who are underinsured or uninsured and in need of free mammograms and or free screenings. Statistics are really frightening. 1 in every 8 women will develop breast cancer in the course of her lifetime. And of course, that's why this is so important tonight. I'm going to be joined over the next half hour by a team of reporters that are bringing some amazing stories of survival, but also talking about preventative measures that are out there. And of course, as a lot of you probably know, over the past 2 decades, this is a cause that's been really personal to me. When I was 14 years old, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she fought long and hard for 6 years before passing away from this disease. It's a disease that has been in my family. There is a history of it, like so many other people out there. And one of the reasons we're out here tonight is because we want to help save lives and help women try and get early detection and, of course, prevention. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what is here behind me, because you've seen some of it over the course of the last half hour. Rain or shine, and ladies, I really appreciate you being out here. Susan G. Komen, Greater New York City, they are out here tonight. And of course, every year, you know, they race for the cure, but year round, they do a lot of amazing work. Project Renewal scan van behind us, giving out free mammograms and, of course, exams. We're going to be talking with them. And Miss USA, Nia Sanchez, a huge supporter of this cause. This is her platform in the Miss USA pageant. She is out here helping us. That is not all, though. We have a lot of special events going on, and we're not just here in Brooklyn. We are also in Newark right now. Joining me, Ann Mercogliano, who is there where they are giving out exams on the scene there. And why don't you tell us what's going on in your location?
Hey there, Tamsin. Yeah, we're at an absolutely incredible event at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, where thanks to St. Michael's Medical Center's In the Pink cancer screening program, men and women are getting free cancer screenings here today. The program's for the uninsured and for the underinsured, but anyone can come down here to the New Jersey Performing Arts Center today. And that is not all. We also have Dr. Rachel Wellner with Hackensack University Medical Center here. She's giving talks, actually the talk right behind me now. She's also teaching very important self-breast exams. The Susan G. Komen Foundation is here as well, and we have, get this, we have New York Giants player Steve Weatherford. He's here. I just met him a little while ago. This event goes until 8 o'clock tonight. A lot of men and women here learning a lot about breast cancer prevention. We will be here. Come on down. Come down and say hi. Tamsin, back to you.
All right, Ann, thank you. Let's talk about who this affects, because the numbers are really daunting. Here, local numbers annually. In New York, 5,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every single year. Of those, 1,000 will die from the disease. Let's go over to New Jersey. 1,000 women diagnosed with breast cancer every single year. 1,300 will die from that disease. That's why it's so important for early prevention and detection. It's why we're out here. It's why there are so many great organizations that are fighting this year round. And of course, there are a number of advances too to talk about. A year and a half ago, you probably remember Angelina Jolie talking about the BRCA gene, the mutation. And of course, she announced she had a double mastectomy to reduce her risk of breast cancer because she carried the BRCA1 gene. Well, 87% of a risk developing breast cancer is what she had, and a 50% chance of developing ovarian cancer due to her family's history. That's what she found out when she tested. So she went ahead and she had a preventative double mastectomy, and also has plans to have her ovaries removed after her mother died of ovarian cancer. And of course, there have been a lot of clinics out there have reported double the number of women who have come out and been tested for this BRCA gene mutation to see if they also test positive and see what their risk of breast cancer may be. So we'll talk a little bit about BRCA, because there's been a lot of talk about it. There's a lot of confusion about it. But here is what it is. There are 2 mutations. There's a BRCA1 and BRCA2. It is rare, that's what the experts tell us, but 1 out of every 500 people carry the mutation. It's 5 times more likely to develop breast cancer if they have it, and 28 times more likely to develop ovarian cancer. So if you hear those numbers, you understand why these people are out here with me in the rain, understanding how important this cause is in supporting people like Project Renewal and the Scan Van out here giving out these free mammograms. And by the way, they don't just do this in October, it is year-round that they're doing this for us. Well, I sat down with 2 people over these past few weeks who both carry that BRCA gene mutation, 2 very different stories, but I want to let them tell it to you.
I didn't believe it.
I thought I was dying.
2 women, 1 diagnosis.
It's like I feel like a human time bomb.
I'm scared. I was scared. I'm still scared.
Star Lopez and Pamela French both carry the BRCA gene mutation, but each chose a different course of action. 36-year-old Star Lopez lives in Jersey City with her fiancé and 2 daughters.
I like to play handy spandy with her. High or low?
Sorry.
A routine doctor's visit changed everything.
Talk to me about the moment that you first heard that you tested positive.
I didn't want to believe it. I questioned myself as to why did I take the test.
The diagnosis, BRCA1, the more aggressive of the 2 gene mutations. It gives Star a 90% chance of developing breast cancer. For a woman without the gene, it's only 12%. But that's not all.
With BRCA1 and 2, there's about a 20 to 60% lifetime risk of ovarian cancer. That's compared to 1%.
What is suggested if somebody does test positive for the BRCA gene?
So we recommend a variety of courses of action. I would say we go from minimally invasive to maximally invasive.
I'm here at the hospital. Today's the day. It's October 17, 2014.
Star chose serious preventative treatment after losing both her mom and sister to cancer.
I'm going to get you marked up.
It's going to be a double mastectomy because it's not one. I'm having both of them taken off.
I'm just going to mark the borders of your breast right now.
A double mastectomy that will lower her breast cancer risk to 1%. But there's a step she was not yet prepared to take.
Did Dr. Wellner talk to you about having a surgery to remove ovaries too?
Yeah, she did.
What are your thoughts about that?
I'm not ready.
What are you most afraid of now as you go into this surgery October 17th?
Not coming out of it.
I felt like my world ended.
For 50-year-old Pamela French, her fear started 4 years ago.
Called me on, I remember, a Thursday afternoon at 2 o'clock. I was diagnosed with the BRCA2.
This gives her an 85% chance of breast cancer. After losing her mom to bone cancer, this mother of 2 knew she had to do something. But she took a different course of action, a different form of prevention.
If you get your ovaries out pre-menopause, your percentages go from 85 to 45, and I just thought that was like a no-brainer.
Pamela decided to have her ovaries removed, but unlike Star, she did not opt for a double mastectomy. Not yet, anyway.
I alternate between MRIs and mammographies. The more scares I have every time I go, it's just a panic. It's a panic.
But
if there's any kind of scare, they're both gone. Bye-bye.
3 days after surgery.
a week after our first interview, Star made it out of her 12-hour surgery and sent us this video.
I want to say thank you. Big thank you to all the support and prayers.
As for Pamela,
and these are my kids. That's my son, and my dog, and my daughter. I'm lucky because now I have people that look out for me, and I just feel like I have a team of brilliant doctors now on my side.
doctors, family, and a lot of faith brought these 2 women to where they are today.
What are you writing for your mom?
I love Mom. She is best mom.
What are you telling your 6-year-old, Anastasia?
That she's beautiful. And no matter what happens to a woman's body because of something that doctors have to do, you will always be beautiful.
I love you.
I love you too.
Absolutely honored to have the opportunity to meet and talk to those 2 women. Let's give you some information about the BRCA gene and whether or not you could possibly be a candidate for it, because a lot of people have questions about this. There are some things to look for and to know. If you may be a candidate, if your personal history of breast cancer started out as a young age, pre-menopausal possibly, if at least 2 relatives have been diagnosed with breast or ovarian cancer, if a family member had breast or ovarian cancer, or if you have a relative with the BRCA gene mutation. There's a lot to talk about this. I told you this was a personal story. It's also a personal story for so many women like the 2 that you just met, because there are survivors and there are people that have battled this disease and people that have definitely won. I fall into the high risk category due to my mom's history, and I didn't really want to go through that test for a very long time. but decided without talking about it or telling anyone. I went through it earlier this month and I'm right now waiting for some results. I spent time, as women do, with a genetic counselor to understand what the choices will be depending on if you test positive or negative for the gene mutation. If I test positive, I've learned that I have an 87% chance of developing breast cancer over the course of a lifetime, a 44% chance of developing ovarian cancer, regardless of who you are. The numbers are scary either way you look at them, and I will have the results. I'm waiting for those results to come to me, but it's something that a lot of women are talking about now. Angelina Jolie brought it to light, but before that, you see heroes like the two we just introduced to you that were already going through something like that and have gone through their own surgeries. Some of the women who are helping people that go through all those things are standing right in front of me. And as I said, they went through it rain or shine and year round. It's not just about October. Mary Solomon with Project Renewal and the Scan Van, you work so hard around the clock. And of course, Linda Tantawi, CEO of Greater New York City, Susan G. Komen. Thank you both for being here. Mary, I'll start with you. We met up about a month ago outside the Scan Van and talked about this. Tell me what you provide for these women.
We provide free mammography and clinical breast exams to women 40 and older that haven't had a mammogram in the past year. We don't care if she's insured or uninsured. We welcome any woman that needs a mammogram.
How often do you detect a problem?
We do detect approximately 25 to 30 breast cancers a year on board our Scan Van. We screen approximately 5,000 women a year.
It's incredible work. Linda, talk to me, because I know that it is not just the month of October. We see people wear the pink ribbons, but it's a whole lot more than that.
Well, we're really all about making sure that people know about breast cancer 365 days a year. Yes, October is important, but thanks to community partners like Project Renewal and the Scan Van, we are making sure that women get the care that they need. And Komen is out there raising money and raising awareness, and are so blessed to have community partners like Project Renewal with us.
So many incredible advances being made right now, too.
It's really a prime time for breast cancer and breast cancer research in terms of the activity and what's happening and the targeted therapies that's happening now. And you're talking about all the research that's being done in terms of genetics. It's really a great time for breast cancer research, and we are, of course, hoping and praying for the cure.
Absolutely, no question about it. Mary, Linda, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for standing out here with me with umbrellas and doing it all for such a good cause. Well, we've talked about a lot of stories of survival because there are a lot out there, and we have had two very, very incredible women. PIX11's Ayanna Harry had a chance to introduce them. We'll let her tell you their story.
Words no daughter ever wants to hear.
When I found out she had cancer, I was really, shocked.
Words no mother ever wants to say.
I told my husband my wishes. I was planning on who was going to raise her. It was really horrific.
Last September, a box fell on Lisa Chambers and hit her in the right breast, but the pain wouldn't go away.
I went to the Women's Breast Center, which were very helpful, and they said it was suspicious. So they had to set up a biopsy, and it found out that it was breast cancer.
It was -0.
But it wasn't going to slow her down. A wife and mother of 3. During both radiation and chemotherapy following her diagnosis, Lisa stayed on the job, running the power plants at Good Samaritan Hospital in West Islip.
What was the scariest part for you?
When she cut her hair off, because I knew she loved her hair that much.
My hair was my signature. Working in a man's field all these years in men's uniforms.
1 year later, Lisa is cancer-free, but she continues with preventative treatments.
When things got rough, I would look for my 9-year-old daughter and look into her face and say to myself, this is why you have to continue.
What would you say to other kids whose mommies have breast cancer?
I would say you gotta keep going and keep positive, and for whatever reason, they're gonna get through it.
Why should I fear?
50 miles away, Khadijah Carter, a single mother of 1, fought not just 1, but 2 bouts of breast cancer.
I was running a PR company, hanging out with my friends, raising my daughter, volunteering at her school, and I just was totally shocked to be diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 28 years old.
Born and raised in Brooklyn, the borough where breast cancer is the #1 cause of cancer deaths for women.
I just knew that I needed to survive mostly because of my daughter.
She underwent a mastectomy, then started chemo.
I lost my hair, I experienced weight gain, I was very fatigued, but I just remained hopeful during the process.
But 7 years later, the cancer returned and it spread.
It went to my lungs, the place where I would sing, I would speak. I remember going home that afternoon and telling my daughter that Mommy's cancer came back, and she just gave me a hug and said, "Mom, you beat it before, you'll do it again."
And she did.
I feel good, I'm moving forward, and I just want to inspire other people that no matter what they're going through, that there's still hope.
So many stories that give us so much hope. We have a lot more still ahead this half hour. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, Lisa Mateo is going to show us how to lower your risk of developing breast cancer. She has a few simple moves she has learned you can do at home every day to keep you fit. And of course, we're going back out to Newark tonight, where PIX11's Ann Mercogliano is live with Dr. Rachel Wellner out there answering questions, and also Giants player Steve Weatherford, and a whole lot more coming up. PIX11 Cares is coming right back. All right, welcome back. We are in downtown Brooklyn tonight for PIX11 Cares, and of course, providing free mammograms here along with screenings. You can see joining me tonight is Jay Dow. Jay, thank you for being here. I know that this is not easy. This subject is not easy.
No.
You and I have known each other 10 plus years.
Yes.
And you revealed something to me not too long ago, and we asked you to be part of this special and talk, and you graciously said you would open up and talk about your story.
Well, thank you, Tamsin. Yeah, my mother is recovering from breast cancer, and you all saw it last year when she was diagnosed, and I missed some time off from work, and we were talking earlier today about what it meant for, you know, a man, a son, a brother to be involved in this. And you know, there comes a moment in every man's life when they realize their parents' mortality, and they're confronted with that. And this was a health crisis, you know, complicated by some medications that really didn't mesh well with my mother, and so it's been a long journey. But the good news is that she went through chemo, she had radiation, she had a mastectomy, and now she's going for reconstruction. She's proud of her story now after a long struggle of, you know, deciding whether or not she wanted to talk about it, but she realizes the benefit to others in sharing her story.
For men who are brothers, they are husbands, they are fathers. You're a father too,
yes.
And of course sons. What do you say to them? Because it really does opens up. Women go through it. We go through the mammograms, but it opens up a whole new world for you to look at, and a new fear.
Well, talking about it, and you know, my sister is now much more aware about the need to stay on top of monitoring her own health and checking the self-examination and making sure that she is on top of this. And it's something that we live with and will continue to live with.
No question about it. All right. All right, we're going to send it over to Ann Mercogliano, who is in Newark right now and doing some amazing work out there as well. Ann.
Hi, Tamsin. We have a very special guest, Aretha Hill Fort with St. Michael's Medical Centers in the PINK program. Thank you for joining us. I'm having a great time hanging out with you today.
Oh, thank you for this opportunity to talk about our program at St. Michael's.
I want to show the van. Can we show the van, Jared? Aretha, tell us about this program, who it serves.
The cancer screening program is a grant-funded hospital-based program that serves the uninsured of New Jersey and the greater Essex County community.
And what happens if something is detected? What happens then?
Individuals with abnormal findings, they're provided case management and navigation from screening to diagnosis to treatment at St. Michael's.
When you have to give bad news, how is it handled, and what would you recommend to women and men?
Well, of course, you know, the bad news is going to come from the surgeon, the breast surgeon, or the nurse navigator who's navigating the patient through the grand labyrinth of this hospital system. But and that is done within hours of diagnosis, so we can ease the anxiety of what patients will have.
Okay, Aretha, thank you so much. Great event today. Tamsin, sending it back to you.
Thank you.
All right, Ann, thank you so much. Certainly a lot of support out there. We're going to turn it over to PIX11's Lisa Mateo, who has a lot of information about also trying to prevent breast cancer.
From aging to the inheritance of an abnormal gene, doctors have attributed a number of risk factors when it comes to breast cancer. Now, according to a study from the American Society of Clinical Oncology, you can add obesity to the list.
In a very general sense, we can say that people who are leaner, that is not overweight, and people who are more physically active have a somewhat lower risk of developing breast cancer than others.
Dr. Clifford Hudis is the chief of breast medicine service at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York City.
With some rare exceptions, being overweight makes the outcome even worse than if you're lean.
And with obesity on the rise, maintaining a healthy lifestyle is key.
Squat it out for 6.
Melissa Morin is a group exercise instructor for New York Sports Club. She's also an exercise physiologist with a degree in nutrition.
We know that an increase in fat cells, or what we call adipose tissue, carries more estrogen through the body, and an increase in estrogen through the body increases our risk for breast cancer.
To reduce that risk, Melissa suggests avoiding refined and enriched products found in white bread and some pasta, and focus on whole grains.
And other legumes and beans and things that we can find real protein, good protein.
And exercise.
Big suggestion would be 30 minutes per day, 5 to 6 days a week, doing anything that's gonna bring your heart rate up. Just simply sit back in your chair. And as soon as you get down, butt touches it, stand back up. Now we'll transition into a bicep curl. So we wanna curl up. And then from there, you're gonna bring the arms out to the side. So it's a compound exercise. And now we're gonna work the chest a little bit with what we call a wall push-up. I want you to lower yourself towards the wall. Good. I want you to press away from the wall. So you're able to work the back of your arms with this kind of push-ups.
All in an effort to help prevent breast cancer and improve your health.
All right, thank you, Lisa Mateo. Guess what? We're going to be going out to Newark shortly with Giants player Steve Weatherford joining Ann Mercogliano. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with PIX11 Cares in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Stay with us. All right, as promised,
Hi
we're
there,
heading
here we
back
are
out
with
to Newark tonight with
Steve.
PIX11's Ann Mercogliano. Hi, Ann.
Hey, Tamsin. Well, here we are with New York Giants punter Steve Weatherford. Thank you for joining us.
I'm having a blast. It's good to be here with you guys.
You have a foundation. Tell us about the foundation and why you started it.
It's the Steve Weatherford World Champion Foundation, and for me, I started it, being a professional athlete, I never thought that I would be in the shoes that I'm in right now, a world champion, and 9 years in the NFL, and I started the foundation to be able to kind of leverage the celebrity that comes along with winning a Super Bowl and reach out and help those in need.
How does it help? How does it help people, and what have you learned since you started this foundation several years back?
Well, we've been able to do tons and tons of stuff, from Christmas shopping to Project Prom, where I'm able to take kids that can't afford to go to their prom because of the financial distress that Hurricane Sandy puts their victims under.
This particular cause, breast cancer, why is it so near to your heart?
Because it affects everybody. I'm a father. I have 2 daughters. I obviously have a wife, a grandmother, a mom, and it affects everybody. It affects 1 in 8 women in America, and there's 400,000 new cases every single year. So it's a very serious problem. For me to be able to come out here, spend some time with the males and the females, because this affects everyone. It's a lot of fun. You get to make some new friends and do some good.
Have you ever had, I know this is on the spot, but any touching experience since you founded this organization?
Yeah, actually my best friend in high school's mother was able to actually beat breast cancer, and if you're able to catch it early, that's why we're here. Doing the screening, I think being very vigilant.
I gotta go back, Steve. I gotta go back.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Tamsin, back to you.
Bye.
All right. And thank you so much. Immediately following this special, a web chat from Dr. Rachel Wellner from Hackensack University Medical Center is taking place. She's going to be available to answer all of your breast cancer related questions. You can head to our PIX11 Facebook page for that. Send your questions along. Of course, back out here live. Thank you all so much for being here with us. Project Renewal, and of course the scan van. If you have not gotten the mammogram or could not get out here, visit our website PIX11.com/breast cancer, and we will see you back here for the PIX11 News at 10. Good night, everybody.